We are live. Let's go. We have a big show for you tonight. A great show. The drama is picking up ahead of UFC White House, UFC 250, UFC. A lot of people got a lot of names for it. And Josh Hokit just doubled down on Alex Pereira's mom. He completely disrespected Alex Pereira, the UFC champion, and his mom. He's not playing around. He is trying to cause a fight. We're going to get into all that. We got some other questions to answer tonight. When does trash talk go too far? I have a theory on it. We're going to get into that about what the difference between good trash talk and trash talk that goes too far is. What are the actual boundaries? And what's acceptable when trying to get a fight versus when you already got a fight. There's a distinction there as well. Plus, we're going to get into freedom of speech and Sean Strickland being banned from the White House because a lot of people are saying it's a freedom of speech issue. He's getting into it with Justin Gaethje. The fans absolutely ratioed Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje got so tilted, he turned off his comments. We're going to get into all that. Plus, what I think they should do with Sean at the White House. I have a unique idea that nobody's talking about. I think would be freaking epic. Also, sometimes when someone says something to you to start a fight, if it's like fighting words, then it's like, okay, like let's say it's a playground. There's no benefit for them if they fight with you. But in UFC, there's a financial benefit. So are you rewarding bad behavior if you fight them after they shit talk you? We're going to get into all that. We got a big show for you tonight. The chat's already popping off. I'm going to talk to the chat in 1 second, real quick. My name is King David MMA. I'm a professional MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt. I coach and I train at the best gym on the planet, Extreme Couture. It's getting crazy at Extreme Couture. There's so much shit going on at Extreme Couture between Natan Levy being at the gym and Jake Shields being there at the same time. Those guys don't see eye to eye on the war overseas. Strickland saying crazy comments and he's doing reels with guys who are from that area. There's a lot going on right now, guys. And I appreciate you guys taking your time to be here with me tonight. That means you're a real one. You can get a real one. See, I'm going to drop it in the chat. Oh shit. Okay, we got more chat popping off. Let's go. I'm gonna drop this real quick. Drop that. Bang, bang, bang. Pin the message. All right. We got Aubrey in the chat. Hey man, got a good round with Aubrey today. He is one of the amateur fighters at Extreme Couture. Expect big things for coming from Aubrey in the future. We got Arpon the Don, the newest moderator, the moderator in charge around here. He said, real ones in the live. Yeah, man, you know Arpin. Arpin's out here, man. He's a real one. All right, we got free Sean Strickland. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? If we're talking free speech, right? And then people are saying that we're going to get, it gets deep. We're going to get into all that. HHH, Custom Knives, what's popping, David? What's popping, bro? Yo, man, I love this show. Shout out to you, bro. Man, I love everybody who loves the show. And if you don't like the show, I don't like you. Okay, you don't have to like me. I don't like you either. But if you love the show, I love you. I never understood why people would get on the mic and they would go, for you fans, it's just I do this for you fans. And I'm like, man, I do this for my fans. Guys, I just knocked that man out for me, for you, for my mom, for my family. And guess what? If you're not a fan of mine, then you got nothing to do with the victory. You absolutely suck. I don't like you either. I only like people that like me. Let's go. You know what I mean? I'm more on that energy. Like if you're a fan of mine, then yeah, I fight for you. Right. But if you're just a fan of the sport, I'm not fighting for fans of the sport. I'm fighting for fans of me, King David MMA. You know how I do. All right. I feel like I get to feel like I know these people on a personal level. Good inside scoop. Yeah, man. We got the inside. We got the inside scoop. Speaking of going deep inside, Josh Hokit went a little too deep. I believe, man. He said he was gonna chama on Alex Pereira's mama. And now he said that at the press conference before. And now you think maybe he'll walk it back in hindsight at the press conference. It was a little over the top. He's trying to, get attention. He did not walk it back. They interviewed him again and they were like, "Hey man, how do you see this fight going?" He's like, "I'm gonna chama on his mom." Like, that's what he's talking about at the White House. He's not fighting Alex Pereira at the White House. He's talking about his post-fight speech. He believes he's gonna walk through Derek Lewis. He feels this fight is beneath him. He feels like Derek Lewis is going down in terms of like where Hokit's at. That he's lowering himself to Derek Lewis's level, and he feels it's a very easy fight for him, and he is going to stay out of positions where he can be in trouble. That means he's going to wrestle. That's my take, because when anybody says that, oh, I gotta fight this fight in a tactical manner to take away his best techniques. Well, Derek Lewis's best techniques are throwing them things. So that sounds like he's going to take him down, and then he plans on getting on the mic and calling out Alex Pereira. Now, as ruthless and heartless as it is to say you're going to chama on somebody's mama, which is completely uncalled for. I told you guys this was going to happen. I told you guys. I told you freaking guys. I know some of you guys agreed with me, but for those of you guys that didn't agree with me, I told you. I have a whole video on it. I break the whole thing down. Josh Hokit will be your next UFC heavyweight champion within 2 fights. He's going to fight Derek Lewis at the White House. And on the world stage, he's going to call out Alex Pereira. He already started. He's done it twice now. He said he's calling out his mom. He's disrespecting Alex Pereira's mother. Come on, man. Now here's the question. Should Alex Pereira reward that behavior with his attention? If Alex Pereira were to beat Cyril Gahn and become the triple champ, essentially, because I also said they're going to strip Tom Aspinall. I said that like over a month ago. Everybody was like, Tom Aspinall's the champ. I said, bro, listen, you don't understand what's happening here. The fight in the cage is different than the fight in the contracts. Tom Aspinall is dealing with a whole industry, a whole management system, a whole booking, matchmaking system, a media giant that's moving forward, regardless if he wants to fight on X date or not. The show must go on. They want people that fight no matter what. And Tom Aspinall has injured eyes and he is taking care of it. And the UFC is like, guess what? We're doing an interim title fight. And if you don't come back after that, we're going to move on without you. Making matters worse, Eddie Hearn has stepped in, and Eddie Hearn is a boxing promoter who's now stepped in as Tom Aspinall's manager, and he's throwing around phrases like, oh, release Tom then. Hey, Dana, I'll pay him 3 times more. Release him. Let him out of his contract, right? And Eddie's being facetious with that. He's being sarcastic because he knows Dana's not going to let him out, but he's trying to prove a point. But even saying that, that's causing problems with the UFC. He's fucking Tom Aspinall's career up. Tom Aspinall's eye injury is a big enough problem. Help the man heal up and get him back in the cage. Do not start a beef with his employer, the UFC. So, anyways, he's getting stripped, which we all don't agree with, but it's reality. Alex Pereira is likely going to beat Cyril Gahn. He's a world-class kickboxer. He's seen fast, movie guys before. He's able to deal with movement. Pereira will probably KO him stiff. Hokit will call out Pereira before Pereira fights. If Pereira wins, Hokit's next in line because he just won the biggest fight in history on the UFC White House, the biggest event, the biggest audience, the biggest names, and then he disrespected his mother. Now, if he disrespects Alex Pereira's mom at the White House, guys, I don't know, man. Like, that's a bridge too far, man. That's kind of wild. So there's been other fighters, and this is kind of the theme of tonight, is like, when does trash talk go too far? What makes good trash talk? How to build hype and anticipation for a fight, how to do it in an authentic way, and what lines to not cross. So there's been a couple times I thought trash talk went too far. The number one example is when Conor McGregor insulted Khabib's father. Conor insulted Khabib's dead father. he made a statement, something similar to like, "Oh, you believe like Allah does good to good people? Well, your dad died of COVID. So what is that?" Like that's way bad, way bad, way bad, way bad, way bad. That's like that's the cocaine thing. You know what I mean? I hope Connor has repented for that. I hope Connor has now that Connor's clean and sober, I hope he sees the error in his ways and maybe even reached out to Khabib over that one. That was bad. That was real bad. Also, Strickland calling Hamza a goat fucker. That's bad, man. That's bad. And I'm all for the beef hype, building it up, but man, come on, dog. That one's kind of wild. But is that one too far? You know what I mean? Is that one too far? You're saying the guy has intimate relations with what would we classify those as? Not bovine, right? We would classify them as barn animals. He has relations with barn animals, which that's highly insulting, but that's like right at the line, right? Like, man, that one's rough. But I feel like in a lot of these cases, it's best to just leave family out of it. The goat fucker thing is almost like a racial or a religious implication in a way. That's stepping on the line, right? You don't want to go there. There's a lot of ways to insult somebody. Um, Fuck, man. That one to me, because it's like that one's directed at him though, right? And then there's like a second layer that other people get offended by, but it wasn't necessarily directed at them in a way, but it kind of is tangentially related, right? So that one's like where I would draw the line. Like if somebody made the case like, hey, that one's all right, I'd be like, well, man, it is a fist fight, you know. And Hamzat is going to try and rip this guy's head off, and Hamzat broke Robert Whitaker's face. So yeah, I understand emotions get ramped up, adrenaline gets ramped up. So like final decision, I would give Strickland a pass on that, but I'd be like, that's right at the line. Connor was way over the line. We don't condone what Connor said at all. But what I thought about for this event was that because it is UFC freedom at the White House, and Strickland is the only American champion, and Strickland has said wild shit. They don't want to offend the billionaires who invest in them, who have allegiances to certain countries. They don't want to offend the president because, Strickland's been critical of the president. But what if there was a way that Dana could convince the president and all the executives with all the money, hey, we're going to bring him here to show we support free speech. What we're going to do, he's sworn that he's not going to say anything out of line or do anything crazy. We're going to sit Sean Strickland right here and we're going to surround him with like 8 Secret Service members. So he can't say anything. He can't pop off. He can't jump over the thing on he can't do anything. Now, can you imagine that visual? Sean Strickland, UFC world champion, so unhinged. He needs 8 Secret Service surrounding him at the White House. Bro, what kind of a badass motherfucker would he look like if they did that? They would take that dude to the fucking stratosphere of star power doing that. You know what I mean? Like, can you guys imagine that? Can you imagine the memes? Can you imagine the lore? Can you imagine the fucking aura of Sean Strickland sitting there with some fucking UFC belt on, surrounded by Secret Service? He's too much of a, but we believe in free speech. So we let Sean Strickland sit here because it's America, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Can you, like, bro, the fucking aura max for the UFC would be phenomenal. And for Strickland, dude, he would look like the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I believe. But hey, guys, I'm just a creative genius. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do the safe thing. Hey, we're not going to let Sean Strickland might say something that could upset somebody with somebody. We like money. There's nothing more important. Like, come on, bro. Dog. Bro, let the dude cook, man. Even if you think he's wrong, that's what America is. allowing somebody who's wrong to say shit. And if you think they're wrong and they sound stupid, you allow them. And then the public gets to decide who's got a point and who doesn't have a point. And then we all go vote, right? Like that's how America is told to us that it works. So let's run it up. And I get, hey, we don't want to fuck up a $7 billion deal. We don't want to offend these people that are in control of Hollywood. And I don't mean a religion, I mean the actual people, like the actual person, Ari Emanuel. Like they don't want to upset him. He owns the UFC essentially. Don't upset that dude. Listen, man. Hey, I know Strickland says some stuff about some shit that is close to your heart. You're on different sides. That's what America is. You guys can be civil in the same place. He's agreed to be civil, and we've surrounded him with Secret Service to ensure that he is. You know, I don't think Ari Emanuel is going to pop off and jump over a fucking bleacher at Strickland. So we don't have a concern on that side. So if they're concerned that Strickland's going to do something super unhinged, that's why they got the Secret Service. Put him there, man. Dude, that would be the fucking coolest visual. That would be the best. Dude, that would be epic. That'd be fucking epic. And maybe I'm biased because I trained at Extreme. Okay, maybe I'm biased. I feel like he's like, F it. I said what I said. How come John Jones can beat Gunn, but Tom can't? We're going to get into that. Strickland 2028. Yeah, I feel like John Jones was able to maul Cyril Gahn because John Jones won. So to compete in the NFL, you've got to be like freaky athletic. John Jones's two brothers compete in the NFL. So he's probably got some freak athleticism that most people can't even relate to. And so when he goes in there with a guy who's considered fast or with good movement like Gahn, John Jones is more springy, more athletic than Gahn. So that is not a factor. That if it is a factor, it goes for John. And then John has the highest fight IQ out of like almost anybody that's fought. He has amazing instincts and he also trains patterns and tendencies. He watches a lot of tape on his opponents. And that's the reason why sometimes in the past, like for instance, he didn't take the Chael Sonnen fight on short notice, even though Chael was going to come up and wait and fight him, and they eventually fought, and John mauled him too. But John's like, dude, I don't go into these fights unprepared. So he might do coke, he might know that blah, he might party, he might drink, he might go crash, all that, right? But when it comes to studying his opponents, John Jones is a student of the game. And then when he gets in there with Gahn, there's some level of skill gap that cannot be overcome, right? So John Jones can close the distance better than anybody, and then he can wrestle better than anybody. Whereas, like, let's say Tom can move well and land shots, but on Gahn, who is able to move and evade shots, well, now we've got a stick and move battle. Where if Tom can't close the distance and get Cyril Gahn down the way John Jones did, well, now it's a completely different fight. So even though Tom might be, let's just for the sake of this conversation, let's pretend he's the second best wrestler in the division, but he's not able to close the distance the way John is at will. And then he's not able to get the takedown like John is at will. It doesn't matter how much better he is than Gahn in a wrestling match. When there's distance movement and strikes involved, that causes there to seem like a huge fucking skill gap between John Jones and Gahn, but not between Tom and Cyril Gahn, right? So the difference between two actual people who fight, oftentimes one guy can obliterate another guy. And then another dude who's very close to this guy and they have a tough battle, that guy can beat the first guy. Because, like, let's say Tom's defensive wrestling is better than his offensive wrestling. He would have trouble getting Gahn down, but he could maybe stuff a takedown on John. Then he's got fucking thunderous KO power. He can hit John, right? So that's the appeal of Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. Even though that's not the skill set Tom needs to beat Cyril Gahn, it's the best skill set to have a chance against John. So yeah, it gets crazy. And that's why MMA math doesn't work, because every fighter has a unique skill set. And it's not, hey, this fighter's good, this fighter's better. It's like, where do they match up in what areas? If somebody's excellent at evading and striking, well, that's going to be hard to a guy who likes to point at the ground and bang. But someone who can close distance well, like let's say GSP, well, that elusive style isn't as effective on GSP because GSP is going to get the takedown, and that's what John Jones. Yeah, he understood that against Gane, that Gane may have good lateral movement, but John could press and put him on the cage, take him down, and then he probably saw a tendency that in some fight with Cyril Gane wrestled up a certain way, which would expose him to a front headlock. At which point, John has a fucking great guillotine. He put Lyoto Machida to sleep with that. Oh, we got a presidential pick. Strickland 2028. Yeah, man, Strickland's getting super popular. And Justin Gaethje went in on Strickland because Strickland posted something, and then somebody on Twitter said, boycott UFC White House. And then Justin Gaethje essentially said, hey, man, you and Strickland are both dumb. Like, I don't need to associate with losers. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And then Strickland wrote back, it got it. Got it, Justin Gaethje. He was calling him a bunch of names that we're not going to get into on this chat. And yeah, man, Justin Gaethje got absolutely ratioed on Twitter. And now there's memes coming out. Justin Gaethje was holding the American flag. Now they switched the flag he's holding. And here's the coldest part, man. I know dudes that are like pro America. They don't know any of this shit, right? They're like, hey, I believe in God. I believe in the country. I'm here for my family. I pray and let's go America. And they don't even have a frame of reference for any of the stuff that's being said allegedly is going on with what country and who, and they don't have any reference for that, right? So they're not bought and sold or whatever the thought process would be behind that. So people are saying that Gaethje is he's a shill or something and that's not the case. Gaethje is not that. And I know several people who have no knowledge. They're like, dude, that if you so I'm at the gym, right? Jake Shields is there. And I'm like, bro, Jake, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? What the fuck? And then Jake will pop off. Blah, 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 blah. Did you know that in this battleship, blah, 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 blah. Like all this shit, all this shit. You know what I mean? And then I'll see Natan, and Natan's from Israel. Hey, Natan, what's going on over there? And Natan's got a completely different view. You know what I mean? From what I've heard, his family was back there while he was out here and they were in danger because bombs were going off. You know what I mean? So to him, he's not, it's like two different stories. You get what I'm saying? And then there's the third party that's like, go America, baseball, hamburgers, hot dogs. Let's fucking go. Jets, the F-16s. You know what I mean? American flag, trucks, golf. Like that. They're not into all the who's paying for what and how many senators and how many Congress people and this, that. They're not into any of that. So when they're saying hey, Strickland, you're fucking stupid, he really has not looked into he doesn't understand why Strickland's even saying what he's saying. He's like, dude, do you think some fucking conspiracy's going on, bro? And then Strickland used to be that same dude who would say that to let's say Jake, and now he's come over more towards Jake's way of thinking, right? And now Gaethje is where Strickland was, and now it's come full circle in a way, Either way, I believe that none of us are in a position to one even fucking know what's going, because I've literally talked to two people who have two totally different stories. You get what I'm saying? I've got a fucking friend who's from Palestine. He went back, he volunteered for a year. It's horrific what he's saying. And I believe him, and I believe, let's say, Natan's family was scared of getting bombed, right? Like those two things can be true at the same time. Now, everybody's getting into all this political who so and so is going to put the belt on the champ. I don't know. I listen, guys. Where I'm at, I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. I call things on the show. You guys see. You guys see. And so the reason I'm getting into all this political shit, I'm gonna make my prediction. But first, the reason why I'm even talking about any of this shit is because it's like there's a lot of people that are spending a lot of their time on subject matters that they are not in a position to affect positively or have, but what they are in a position to affect, they oftentimes can overlook. So, if I were digging down rabbit holes all day, right, I may not be able to like focus on helping students get better or spending time with my fucking girlfriend who's actually in my life and loves me. Like the people closest to me, calling family members, checking in on family. You know, that's what you can affect. Listen, guys, pause. Before I say what I'm going to say, I'm a heterosexual man. I have a girlfriend. She's the only girl for me. I love her. If you were to assign me some form of preference, I'm a trillion percent straight, but I've been smiling at people. Okay, that's my latest thing is when I'm walking through the street, I'm like, dude, there's enough fucking bullshit going on. The news is wild, social media is crazy, X is popping off, Strickland versus Gaethje, all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what I can do? When I go to fucking Sprouts or Whole Foods, if like an old lady or a elderly man looks at me, I'm gonna smile at them. If somebody that looks like they're from a background where they wouldn't like someone like me for political reasons just because they're assuming things based on my appearance, I'm gonna fucking smile at them. So I've been smiling at people, and that's why I had to give you the, you know what I mean? I had to give you the caveat that like I'm into women. I have a girlfriend. Don't think I'm sus just for smiling at people, all right? But like I've been actively, and it's embarrassing to say that I've been smiling, okay? That's how that's how traumatized I am. So no, but I'm playing around, but kind of not really. But yeah, but so I've been actively smiling at people, right? Because I'm like, what could I do? It takes zero effort. I'm at the fucking organic grocery store anyway, right? Why not smile at people that look at me? And 80% of the time they smile back, and now we got a vibe, and now I made their day in a little bit for 2 seconds, and they made my day because they smiled back, right? Like, and as fun, as soft and mushy as that sounds, I'm gonna post a picture of my girlfriend on my Instagram right now so you guys don't think I'm fighting for the other team. All right, guys. But as soft as that sounds, that's something like one could do, right? That could actually like make a small but distinct difference. What if that person was gonna go do something bad to themselves that day, and that was the last day they were on Earth? But you were the one person that fucking smiled at them, bro. We don't know what people are going through. Dude, like I don't want to put anybody on blast, but man, I've got teammates who say something online, and I've got another teammate who's like, dude, why is he saying that? Let's say somebody is let's say I've got a Christian teammate and he doesn't understand why someone else is agnostic. But what my Christian teammate doesn't know is that my agnostic teammate, who I'm dear friends with both these people, he doesn't know that the agnostic friend grew up in, let's say, a Christian household, but his close family member died when he was a child. Like heartbreaking, heartbreaking. And then he questioned everything, right? So he's not approaching this from a place of like hate. He's approaching this from a place of like childhood trauma and pain, right? And so he didn't have the same life experience that you did. So he got to a different conclusion. And rather than judge him because you have it, like who, and that's what the freaking Bible says, right? It says, don't judge. You know what I mean? That's God's job, right? So it's just the moral of the story is dude, we don't know what anybody's going through, right? But we could be cool to people. We could be a vibe. I've been actively like making sure to say hi to more people at the gym. Oftentimes, previously, I would walk in the gym laser focused on a mission. I'm here to train. I'm thinking about my moves. I'm thinking about my rounds. Hey, I got to train with so and so, so and so, so and so. Last time I went with them, they almost KO'd me with a left hook. Next time when I'm approaching the situation, right? And I got to like have, okay, off that exchange, I need my hand here. I need this, bop, boom. I'm locked the fuck in. And I'm like, hey, if I wasn't me, I'm like in a good mood. Like, oh my gosh, I get to train right. Wow, this is awesome. Bye, 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 bye. But I'm like also not getting clipped with anything stupid. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, next time I throw that rather than slipping off the side and coming back, if I slip, I go here, elbow high, boom, back to here, get hit, bang, and then count right. Like while that's going on in my head, to an outside observer, they might think, man, King David just walked by me without saying hi. He must not like me. Because guess what I think when he doesn't say hi to me? I'm like, what, bro? You're right. So, like the same way I'm behaving, I'm over here thinking, but this person could just be, they could have broke up with their girlfriend. They could have a boss that's stressing them out, right? They could be worried that their chick's going to leave them and they don't know what to do about it. And they look like they could be having problems. Their kid could be at school getting taught all kinds of bullshit. We don't even know, guys. So anyway, I believe, and anybody can do whatever the fuck they want, right? I'm not here to tell people what to do. I just choose to focus on what I can control locally rather than going, because the other thing is this. They're saying that aliens are real now. Okay, they said aliens were fake. Now they're saying aliens are real, right? So these two things cannot both be true. One of them is a lie. So if they're lying to us about that. And then everything they said when we got locked down turned out to, oh, oops, we didn't, hey, we got it all wrong, guys. Like, I got to believe that there are some benevolent, good meaning people somewhere in the food chain that are looking out for us. And in the event that they're lying about whatever, how do we even know what's true about this situation? There could be a situation where it's like Trump sold out. Like we don't know what the fuck's. What if the aliens are real, guys? Like you know what I'm saying? What if the aliens are real and the aliens are in control? Like we don't fucking know what's going on, and it's like that's crazy. It's like, well, then why are they telling us that then? Okay, so then let's assume that's not true, that the aliens are not real, right? Like, then what's all the shit in the sky? So then they got some technology they're not telling us about. Well, who's got the technology? Is that why somebody's like I'm just saying it could be anything, right? Anyway, I'm just out here smiling at motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I'm smiling at old folks, guys. That's what I'm up to. Listen, he said, see, man, even this, right? Like HHH Customs. Like, I love the messaging, right? But like, I'm so wild that I don't even say that word. I say heavens, yes. And then changing the world one smile at a time. Like that's how off the deep end with it I am. Like, you know what I mean? I used to say that. And then I'm like, dang, man, how do they have me thinking that that place is something to say in an positively like an excited term of exclamation? And I'm like, you know what is a good place, man? Heaven. You know, so I say, oh heavens, yes. So yeah, man, oh heavens, yes. Changing the world one smile at a time. And my guy said food vibes, bro. You know how we do, dog. Yeah, so I'm out here eating organic, smiling at people, just big up in my girlfriend to just telling people that don't even want to hear about it, how awesome she is. You know, trying to be friendlier at the and not even friendlier, expressing more friendliness. So, anyways, that's what the fuck I'm on. We got a lot of crazy shit going on. I'm drinking this caffeine right here. Oh, dude. Oh, somebody in the comment section. He blasted me in the comments. He said, "Man, we don't care about this stupid drink you're drinking. Shut up about what you're drinking." He said I deserve a dislike because I like caffeine. Well, he didn't even specifically say caffeine. He just said that I'm drinking. I'm referencing the beverages that I'm drinking, and that's what I'm saying. Arp on the dot saying more caffeine, bro. We like caffeine in combat. Okay, to the dude commenting, I replied back, bro. I don't know what you're going through in life, but I hope it gets better. I genuinely mean that. Because think about how, and this isn't a judgment on the dude, but how down bad do you have to be to put that in the comment section? You know what I mean? You got to be in a negative spot. And you know what? We're trying to get him in an upward spiral, right? We're trying to vibe. And maybe that's why he doesn't like caffeine, because he doesn't like the upward vibration of all. Do you carry no, I do not. I don't I got I have some people that love, you know what, bro? I'll put you onto a couple people I know that absolutely love that. Like one of my so shout out to Fight Circus. I teach private lessons to one of the owners of Fight Circus. He's a dear friend of mine, and he owns a gym with Chris Lieben in San Diego. And they are so into uh pocket knifery that they went to a steakhouse for Chris's bachelor party, and Chris Lieben pulled his own pocket knife out and was cutting the steak with it because it cut better than the steak knife. You know what I mean? Like that's so I'll show him your stuff. That way, we keep it all in the fam, right? Like because they're super into it. I'm into the concept of it, right? And I believe we discussed this on a previous live that like everybody wants to be dangerous, but nobody wants to go through the flame and the pounding to be a sharp, dangerous weapon. And that's why a metaphor is such a dope. That's why a blade is such a dope metaphor for martial arts. We got Arpon the Don saying sponsor us, drink companies, dude. Arpon, thank you for bringing that up. I have not hit any companies up. I am freaking slacking, guys. Hey, but here's the other thing, right? I believe in integrity. This is what I actually drink, right? I drink this, I drink Zevia's, and I'll be real, guys. Zevia seems, I went to their website. I absolutely love Zevia's. Their website seems like they would prefer, and this is not, I gotta reach out to them. I don't know if they're into the professional MMA fighter male energy space. You know what I mean? Like they did not seem like that was the wave they were on their website. But here's what I do know. I do know there is some all natural or organic energy drink or supplement powder company that if I do the research, maybe I'll hit Jocko up. I know Jocko. He's got Jocko Fuel, And see, the thing is this: I don't want to drink any artificial sweeteners. So could I have a? I'm not even gonna say their name, but it's like a really famous. They sponsor UFC can here. I could, right? But I wouldn't really drink it, and I wouldn't tell you guys to drink it, even though everybody drinks it. They like the white ones, right? And then like, yeah, but that's not real, right? And then I'm out here. How could I possibly create shirts that say real one on them, and then I'm not being real? And then we're talking about who's selling out to go sit with some billionaires at the White House and who's not and who's keeping it real. And it's like, dude, in today's economy, authenticity is like the most valuable thing. So that's why I say real ones only. Only subscribe if you're a real one because I want authentic connection. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be fucking fake and sticking my balls in the gravy. You get what I'm saying? Just to get some extra subscribers who don't really rock with me. I'd rather have freaking like down, like we're in this together. Like we would get along. You get what I'm saying? People that rock with each other, build a community. That's more my mindset. And how do you do that? By being real. Because if you portray something you're not, and you do this fake thing. Oh, here's this energy drink that pays me X dollars a month, and I pretend I drink them, but I don't. Like, bro. Then you're gonna have people in the chat that love it, or you're gonna be promoting it to people who you like. How do you even look at like? Not on some corn, but like for real. Like, how would you look in the mirror and go like, "Hey, man, I sold out promoting something I don't even fucking believe in. And I'm recommending to other human beings who I'm on this shared experience with on planet Earth, bad shit that I don't fuck with. And now, while they may fuck with it, and I'm not here to judge anybody who drink, like, people tell me don't drink stevia. Well, I drink stevia. Other people, I'm like, dude, don't drink any of those, right? But like, if that's what if someone's risk to reward ratio has them drinking traditional energy drinks, well, that's their decision. Who am I? All I'm here to do is say, this is what I drink. If you guys are curious as to why, we can have that conversation. If not, I'm not here to give unsolicited advice. So, anyways, all that conversation sparked because some dude in the comments was like, "Stop talking about your drinks." You know what I'm gonna do, bro? I'm gonna talk about drinks every fucking live now, every live, bro. Dislike it all you want, dog. You know, like it's all good, bro. I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not for me. I'll meet everyone I'm supposed to. I'll get all the subscribers I'm supposed to. I'll get all the real ones I'm supposed to. I'll rock with all the people I'm supposed to. Anyways, guys, have a great night. Smile at somebody, especially old folks. You know what I mean? Because who knows, man? It could be one of the last days, and you could be the last smiling person that leaves them on a good note before they have a really bad day the next day, man. I love you guys. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Make sure you got notifications on because I'm late as fuck tonight. Then I'll be early tomorrow. All right, late.